Most men aren't attuned to themselves. They're out of rhythm, and they believe that stillness is a form of weakness. If I'm not moving forward, if I'm not progressing, if I'm not being more successful, doing more in the gym, running further, working harder, we're always striving to do more because we think that the more we do, eventually we're going to hit that magic, the magic place, the magic outcome, whatever it is, that elevates our worth. So we're not broken, we're just out of tune with ourselves. We're busy. We're busy being busy, as the saying goes. So today I want to talk to you about presence. So there's a few different, I've got 5 pillars to the warrior's path, and presence is one of them. And learning to be present with yourself, sitting with your emotions, sitting with your stresses, sitting with your thoughts, and just being present, that helps develop the self-awareness, so you no longer have to chase anything anymore. You work towards goals that are actually going to be fulfilling. So I've wrote here, your attention is your power. You can't lead yourself, you can't lead others, you can't lead yourself if you're not self-aware enough to know where you're going, to know what's holding you back from it, to know what you're afraid of, to know what you're avoiding. Anything that we're afraid of and avoid will eventually come up at a very inconvenient time, and then you're going to have to deal with it. So if you're self-aware enough, you sit down, you be present, you can see what you're avoiding, what you need to work on. So then you develop that skill. So the easiest one way of thinking about this would be in sparring. When I was living over in London, we sparred a lot. We did either stick and hand sparring, flow drills, actual gloves on sparring, some bare knuckle sparring. You did all of the sparring so that when, I was going to say when you get into a fight, but you don't really want to get into a fight, but when, if anything ever happened physically in your life, you were equipped to deal with it because you had been sparring, you had been drilling it for a long time. Another example would be, I had been practicing and studying magic for probably about 2 years, and I did a lot of close-up, and I always thought it'd be nice to go on stage, but I never looked into it too much. But I prepped routines that if I ever ended up on stage, these are the kind of routines that I would do. So I had a bit of an idea, so I was present enough to know that I wanted to do it, but I was afraid to actually make the leap into it. And then one day I was working at a cancer charity gig, and just heard the compere talking, and I could hear it, and I was thinking, that sounds like he's talking about me and saying I'm about to go on the stage. And then he said, let's welcome the magician for the evening, Liam O'Neill. So I had from maybe about 30 feet to work out what the fuck I was going to do on stage. I don't like to back down, so I wasn't going to back down and say, oh, actually I only do close up. That would have took away the mystique. I was like, yeah, no, well, I do stage. But because I had sort of been half prepping and I did a lot of meditation stuff, I was able to stay calm, stay present, and just say to myself, look, you've been performing in front of wee groups, you're just about to perform in front of a bigger group, basically. So having that awareness and presence of mind to be able to lock into the breathing exercises, to the turning off the chattering monkeys in my mind that were telling me this is going to go horribly wrong, this is going to be terrifying. Having all of that meant that I was prepared for this. It was an outcome that I wanted, but that I was afraid of, but I still prepared for it. So it's like that whole statement, like dress for the job that you want. I was putting in the work behind the scenes and setting myself up, so if this opportunity ever arose, I'd be ready for it. And I've experienced this so many times in my life since, like where I do talks or where I've done shows or events, and people tell me that they would love to do it if only they could get the opportunity. And I'm like, well, here's your opportunity now, let's go. And they don't take it because they haven't prepared for it. They will say, no, I'm not ready, I'm not ready. The reason they're not ready is they haven't been doing anything. You see it online all the time. If you follow like Simon Squibb as an example, Squib, his book's about there. Sorry if I butchered your name. But he's the guy that goes around and asks everybody, have they got a dream? And the amount of times people will say, yeah, I want to be a singer, or I want to, whatever it is they want to do. And he's like, right, let's go. I'll give you the opportunity. Bring me some of your buns tomorrow and I'll test them out. Or sing right now and millions of people will see it. And they're not prepared for the situation they claim that they want. So they actually miss out. So having this presence, where does presence start? It starts in your body. The easiest way to do it is just to, so I do a drill called the body scan drill. And you just sit, close your eyes, and just focus internally. Start at the top, work your way down, and just feel what the body feels like. So being actively present. So when I move my hands, I'm actively present with their movements. They're not just floating all over the place as I talk. They're right now, but as an example. But when I gesture, usually the gesture is in relation to what I'm saying and not just, it's very hard to do that. It throws you off your rhythm. So having the self-awareness, your breath, your posture. I'm not slouched. My posture's high. I'm thinking about my spine. I'm thinking about my hips. Like we've got the 9 gates exercise. Thinking about all these things, getting your breathing. So once you can focus on yourself and become present in yourself. So when I teach Qigong or martial arts, we always do static drills first. So you can get used to moving your body and not having to think about too much or think about your area or getting in and grappling someone. You're just focused on yourself. So presence starts with yourself. And this is a great way of just put the phone down for a while. Don't stop listening to this podcast, but after this podcast, put the phone down and just do some self-awareness, do some breathing, do something that is for you, like bringing yourself back to yourself, build that presence, build that self-awareness. And then stillness trains your nervous system. So that's the 4th thing. So stillness trains your nervous system. Think about the amount of times you talk to someone and you don't respond immediately and they just keep filling the space. I used to do this when I did talks at the very start, about 15 years ago. I would do a 20-minute talk and I would talk for 20 full minutes. Whereas now I'm happy, even on the podcast. I used to be afraid. I used to edit out silences on my original podcast because I was afraid of people switching off when I stopped talking. But silence is where you get to where I'm talking to you, you get to think and respond internally or externally. If we're in a conversation, it gives you time to break down what I said and then respond with whatever it is that you want to respond with. So your nervous system uses silence to just fucking chill out and relax and become slower. So you're not trying to get to the point where you're annoyingly slow and you're faking it and pretending that every word is vitally important. You're just trying to get slower than the normal day-to-day. Like, take time to breathe. Take time to focus on what you're saying. Take time to actually think about what you're saying and if what you're saying needs to be said or if it doesn't need to be said. So think about these 4 things. Your attention is your power. Presence starts in the body. Modern life fractures you. So modern life scrolling, noise distracts you. And then stillness trains your nervous system. So this is what I want you to do. This is the silent warrior sit. 5 minutes. No phone, no music. Just set a wee alarm. Sit upright. Breathe. You don't have to be in a big fancy posture, but I don't want you slouching. I want you to be aware. When you slouch or lean back or lie down, you can fall asleep. We don't want that. I want you sitting, good strong spine, high chest, high neck. You're not slouched over, just everything in awareness and in a line, and then just breathe. So just focus on nothing. When something comes in, just let it go out. Focus on nothing for 5 minutes. This is something I do last thing at night, every single night. I do a 5 minute version of this. Sit in silence, and it's one of the reasons why I sleep so well, how I can switch off from whatever happened in my day. So try this for 7 days in a row. Feel free to reach out to me within those 7 days and let me know how you're getting on with it. But just try it. Try to be present. Don't be putting on any yoga music or meditation music, just silence. Like sometimes I'll just, if I'm doing it during the day, I'll stick on noise cancelling headphones just to really block out everything else. So give that a go. Let me know how you get on with it. And then remember, this week is just focusing on presence of mind, presence of body, presence of yourself. Have a super awesome day, whatever you get up to, and I'll speak to you again soon.